face to face.
Shot. Which shot in the way?
Go without fear, love without remorse. Your life in my hand, and mine in yours.
That's my biggest fear.
Well on my way to the promised land. I get what you feel, but not what you say. Telling me to stay.
Okay, hold on. We gotta go. We gotta go home. She's gonna die in the sun. It's not working. Get out of there.
Stay.
Fun times. Candles.
Don't let them fool you.
First time. Let's see how many they end up with.
Just a trick of the trade. Yeah, they'll keep you busy.
Is making a baby with Stinky Roger.
While it fades away.
Stinky Roger, sing with me.
The news on repeat.
Man, love hearing a dog baby.
When I'm in my car,
Adopt a baby. Leave those babies alone. We don't care if they get taken away.
so I turn up the heat.
We don't care.
I know I won't get far. Oh, look here, do that. Swipe right, turn left.
You
By
do
the
not want to do this
flickering light.
Sims in your game because it will yeet.
Life is in the
That's
palm
yeet
of
when
your
I go through this
hand.
cancer. But it's
Go without fear, love without remorse. Your life in my hand, and mine in yours. Well on my way to the promised land. I get what you feel, but not what you say. Oh, telling me to stay. A love without fear, without remorse. With your hand in mine, mine in yours. I get what you feel, but not what you say. Telling me to stay.
So I paused them.
Stay.
This guy over here, yeah, he was yeeted in there. Just super quietly here. Yeah.
Stay.
Ignore the dead man. Yeah, nothing to see here, people. Nothing. This is just normal crime scene stuff, dirty dancing. You know, dead guy over here living his best. Well, he's not living his best life anymore because he got attacked by something really bad. So here we are. Hello, hello. It's a little bit of a lag here, but that's the usual. How are you all today? I see someone hanging out in the chat with me, so thank you for being here. Let me turn down this music here a little bit. Can you hear my mic? Just say something. Let me know. I am not used to streaming on YouTube anymore. I'm used to streaming on Twitch. So my settings... I need to get rid of this music. My settings are a little bit different. Anyways, thank you for those who are here lurking. This is... if you're not familiar with Machinimalife Live, what this is it is a live tutorial, a little bit of firsthand look into the method to my own madness of filming my machinima. And what we're going to be learning in this tutorial is it's going to be multi-part tonight. In a couple weeks, we'll do the next part, but we're going to be learning how to use the tool mod for Machinima. And there's some basic things that many of us use, moving and rotating, but there's so much more to it. And so in episode 10 of The Curse, season 2, The Crown, I used the tool mod in a new way. Episode actually 9 and 10, I believe. I kind of broke out of my own anxiety around tool, and I started using it in a different way. And I just opened up this whole new world. And what started it for me was I wanted to film a scene where Conrad was throwing somebody into a volcano. And I was just racking my brain trying to figure out, how do I do that? Do I need to build a volcano? I don't even know how to build a volcano in The Sims. I'm sure there's a way, but I don't know how to do it. So I figured, what if I can use the tool mod and to get Conrad over there, and kind of in breaking out of my fear of using the standard way that you use the tool mod, I opened up this whole new way of using it, which also translated to the next episode. So what I want to show today is, if you saw the video that goes along with this, kind of the teaser, what that is it is multiple people or multiple scenes from those episodes where I used the tool mod, and I used it to create an entire section of scenes in this whole world here in Forgotten Hollow. So instead of using just one lot, I actually used this entire area here, this whole area back over here, and this area over here, using the tool mod. So that's what I'm going to show today.
You've told me more than once to show you my intention. My brain gets blocked at times, but now somehow I'll give you my attention. You've got to know that I ain't a person who understands all the clockwork of our romance. You make me feel so alive, always there in my mind. But I just don't know if I'll dance with the lights on. If you're gonna be moving on solo, wait a second, 'cause they're playing the best song. I'll be there if you reach out to me. Reach out to me. Reach out to me. I'm a rolling stone tonight, never to be set on. Though I know I can't deny your eyes, I've got this inner battle. I don't know how to act. I ain't a person who understands the commitments of a romance, but somehow I need you close. I'll go wherever you go.
Hey Jolene, thank you for coming. How are you?
I just don't know if I'll dance with the lights on. If you're
Hold on, let me see what's going on here. I'm having all kind of technical difficulties right now. Thank you for being here.
playing the best song, I'll be there if you reach out to me. Reach out to me.
I'm doing okay. I'm just trying to, my computer's frozen right now. So, yeah, there we go. All right, perfect. I'm doing okay. How was your day today? The computer's frozen right now. I'm trying to pull up this lot so I can get into, turn this down, so I can get into this lot to show you what I want to show you. So anyways, how was your Monday today? I have all this whole new setup that I'm not really used to right now. Bear with me a minute. There we go. Okay. Awesome. So tell me about you, Jolene. Tell me a little bit about you. Are you here to learn about Tool? Are you here just to kind of watch the process? Tell me a little bit. Curious? So what I'm going to show you first is what I was explaining is when I filmed my not the last episode, but the episode before that, when I filmed it, in a couple of the scenes, I filmed a couple of really important scenes. And usually as a machinima director, what I'll do is I'll use accessible areas, or I'll use a lot. But what I was able to do for the scenes, and especially the scenes, if you saw the trailer for this tutorial, what I used is I actually turned this entire area down here into a movie set. You're supporting and learning. Oh, Tigra! I didn't know. Hi, Tigra. I appreciate you being here, and I didn't know that was you. So, hi, Tigra. Thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting. All right. Well, let me kind of tell you what I'm doing then. So I used this whole area in those scenes. I'm gonna turn this down. I can't think and talk at the same time. It might save the lag anyways. So in those episodes, this whole area was used as the set. Since then, I have taken it all down, which I'm kind of kicking myself. I didn't know I'd be doing this, but I'm gonna remake it. But what I did is I used the tool mod to move objects, which we kind of know how to. Hey, Rias! Hey, how you doing? Thank you for being here. So, we know that you can use a tool mod to move objects, to rotate objects, to move sims, to do all kinds of things, but there's more that you could do with the tool mod. And I know it feels weird to be here on YouTube. I know it's a little weird. I feel like I'm a little out of my element here. Everything just feels a little weird right now anyways, but thank you for being here. I appreciate it. So let me just back up. The reason why I decided to bring this to YouTube is because I feel like the majority of my machinima community is here on YouTube. And also part of that is I'm lazy and I don't want to have to upload the tutorial to YouTube. So I thought I'll just do it on YouTube. I started streaming on YouTube, so there you go. Information you didn't need. All right, back to what I was saying. In those episodes, and if you watch the teaser for this tutorial, I used this bridge here, this whole area back here. Now these areas here, I don't think you can see my mouse, can you? I'm pointing at the bridge. But these areas, the bridge over here and behind it, are actually off-limits areas. Car, hey Car, welcome. I'm doing good. Thank you for being here. I'm trying to do too many things at once. That's what I'm doing. Great to see you here. Thanks for showing up, y'all. I appreciate your support. You're awesome. So these areas back here are inaccessible in the game. So if I took my mouse and I try to click there, I'm going to get the little circle with the line through it. And for the most part, when you use tool, we think, well, it has to be a place where you can click on it, right? And to move the sim. And I'll show you the basics of it in a minute. But there's that grid view, and it can be really complicated. I by no means am an expert at tool, but I feel like I've kind of mastered it enough to show you more that you can do with it. So the first thing I'm going to show you, and what I'm going to show you today, is I'm going to show you how I turned this whole area here into a movie set. And so in that teaser, you saw Nathan sitting up on the mountain. I'm going to show you how to do that too in a future episode of this. You saw Nathan sitting up on the mountain, and he was looking out into this landscape, and it was all mountainous, and you saw the sacred grounds in the background. That was all this. I turned this whole thing into that scene, and I did that using the tool mod. And so what I did is I completely buried this whole area here in objects. Now, what in the Sam Hill? Would you be louder? Sorry. So that's something. If it's an object, it can be moved. So just know that. Write that down. If it's an object, it can be moved. So you can move any object. And if you think about not limiting yourself to one area in the game, you can use any object. So we're going to go ahead. It's probably going to freeze. So, we'll talk amongst ourselves while it's doing that. But let me go ahead and pull up debug, and I'm going to show you what I mean. Maybe I'm going to do that. There we go. First, you need to put on move objects. Just because, and I'll show you why. And then we're going to do show hidden objects. Now, hold on. I can't think and talk at the same time. Hello? Oh, my game just froze again. Oh, wait for the program to respond. All right, well, let's just wait for the program to respond. It decided to freeze on me. Anyway, so if you think about any object in the game being moved, that you can move objects, especially from debug, unless my game crashes, then I might have to restart, which is going to make me angry, but that's okay. Oh, there we are. Yay. Let's go ahead and do a little save here for fun. If you think about that, you can turn any landscape into a huge movie set. So what I used here, oh, hold on. I can't think and write at the same time. Give that a minute. Now, if you in Tool, there's a way, Twisted Mexi in the Better Build By, I think it is. I don't know. Don't quote me on this. I don't know. I've never been able to get it to work. I'm sure it's because I'm, being dumb about it somehow. But there is a way where Tool will work in Build By. I don't know how. Never tried it. Or I've tried it and I could never get it to work. Hey, Peachy, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. I hope you're having a good time at your work thing. Thank you for being here. But if you think about Tool as being able to open up this whole world, you get these huge movie sets. So these scenes that I filmed using that turned out so much better than they would have if I would have just been limited to like one lot. Okay, this show hidden live objects. I wish Better Build By worked better for me. I don't know. I've honestly never had a lot of luck with it. I think, well, that's not true. I had it installed one time and it worked, but I swear I have the hardest time with Better Build By, and I think that's where Tool will work inside Build By mode. I don't know. You can ask Twisted Mexi because I don't know the answer to that. Okay, so what we're going to learn today is we're going to learn how I transformed this whole area here into that set. That set that you saw when Nathan was sitting up on top of the mountain looking over the landscape. And it's also the set that you saw in episode, I think it was 10. I think it was episode 10 where I actually used that footage. I'm going to show you how I did that, how I transformed this. Now, the funny thing is that, Sims can walk through the objects, so it doesn't stop townies from walking out of boulders and stuff, which is kind of funny. But what I did, now this is the cemetery here, but I went ahead and saved the lot and bulldozed it. And what you have to do is you have to bring in, what I did is I brought in all of the objects that I wanted to use onto the lot, and then I moved them. So we're just going to bring a whole bunch of boulders in. And I was thinking about it when I was kind of playing around with this, like you could make a whole landscape because you got these houses in debug. You could pretty much put anything anywhere. I could make this neighborhood look however I wanted using the tool mod by just bringing in the objects and then moving them. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go down here, and the one thing that works well with Better Build By is you can organize things a little bit better, but I don't have it in my game, so we ain't going to do that. Anyways, how's y'all days today? Mine was typical Monday. Gotta love it. Trying my best to work on focus. I've been very unfocused lately, and that's a problem. So I actually got a lot done. I'm really behind in filming. Whatever virus I got just knocked me out. Between that and helping Amanda out with the baby, it's been a lot. But that's okay, because he's cute. I'm having fun. Let me find my rocks. Where's my rocks? Boop, 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 boop. How's my mic sound? So not only do I have a whole new setup, I had to reset everything for YouTube because I had it all set up for Twitch. I don't know. You might hear an echo. Excuse me. Let me turn this down. So I have my iPad on just so I don't miss anything. It's been good. How's my weekend? I sound really quiet. Thank you. All right. Is anyone else having that problem? Let me turn up my mic a little bit. Mic is a bit low. Hey, FaZe. How you doing? Nice to see you. Penny. Called you FaZe, didn't I? All right. Let me see here. Is that better? How's that? Is that better? Is that better? And it's still hard to hear. Yeah, honestly, I don't know how to use this thing. Let me turn it up. Now that's loud. That's hot. How's that? Is that better? Thanks for coming, Penny. Appreciate it. Much better. Okay, well, I turned everything up. Now it's a little hot. I'm getting into the yellow here, so let me turn myself down so I don't burst your ears. But let me know. So yeah, I had to reset everything for. I got new headphones. I'm on YouTube. I'm not on Twitch, so everything had to change. So thank you for letting me know. I do have the music off because that tends to lag my stream really bad, so I have it off. But we'll play with it. All right, so let's find some rocks here. I'm not going to be able to recreate exactly what I did because, look, that set took me a solid 4 hours to make. But I'm just going to kind of give you a little bit of an idea. Where's the rocks? I need rocks. Here we go. So what I tried to do is I tried to find out which assets did they reuse for this pack. Because we all know, let's face it, that's what they do. And the ones that match the most, I do have some that looked okay. But I like to match the landscape. Hi everyone. I'm so glad. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate you all coming out to support this. You just have no idea. Because I know everybody's very busy. I know I get really busy. So just the ones that look, you know, the most like the ones in the landscape, and these obviously are the ones that they reuse. So I'm going to pull a couple of these, but I wanted them to be really big. So I'm just going to pull a whole bunch of them, make them bigger. Look at that. It's ginormous. Oh my goodness. And, you know, I make them bigger and I just pulled them in because I knew I wanted to cover up the landscape. So that's a good size. We'll have a small one there. We'll pull this one in. That's a good one. Let's make it bigger. It's ginormous. And as you can see, now we have this huge, hot mess. But that's okay. It's only going to be a hot mess for a minute. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into the lot. I should have been in the lot doing this, but I didn't. So we'll do that. And we're going to go ahead and I'll show you how I moved the boulders around to create that look. So I'm going to go into this lot over here that's really bad. Now, you just see these big rocks there. And then I moved them and covered up, like I used rocks to completely cover up that entire park area so that you couldn't see it anymore. And it transformed the landscape. And you know, really, it's not really advanced use of tool to do that. We all know that you can move objects. But it's just the idea and the mindset that not to limit yourself as a storyteller, because a game's so limited already, but it's a much bigger game than it has a lot of areas that are really cool that can be used. Some of it takes a lot of patience, so I can show you that as well. We're just going to let this load, take its sweet, ever-loving time to load. Okay, I'm really behind on filming too. Anyone else really behind on filming? I'm so behind. I'm so behind on everything. I'm just, I say I'm a week behind, but I think that's a lie. That's just a bold-faced lie. I'm like solid 2.5 weeks behind on my deadlines that I put on myself, that I stress out about. All right, we're just going to let my game do what it's gonna do. Yeah, I know. Same, way behind. I have a script to get out. I got all kind of stuff to do. That's fine. I'll get it done. It's all good. I'm just waiting. I'm just killing time. Waiting for this to load. Um, so my hope for this tutorial is it should be in 4 parts, hopefully. Next week I can't stream because I'll be up on the mountain with the kids. But yeah, but we'll do it the other Mondays after that. How was my Monday? It was good. It was good, Penny. Thank you for asking. My Monday was good. I started it with the intention of getting certain things done, and I made myself stay focused to do that. Like, that was the biggest thing, was I needed to stay focused to do that. Why is it taking me there? Did I hit the wrong thing? I did, didn't I? Sorry, I'm just being dumb. So it was good. It was okay. I got everything done that I had allotted for today, and that. And how was yours? I mean, like, are you close to... Oh, no. Oh, I know the problem. Hold on. This is my problem. Here's my problem, is it's not a residential lot. So let's back up a little bit. I only film on residential lots. I very rarely, if ever, you're leaving work. Awesome. And you should be done with work soon, right? It's coming up on summer break. So that should be nice. You're leaving you're not physically, you're actually leaving your work. You put in your 2 weeks notice. Wow. Okay. Huh. Did you get a new job, or you kind of just looking? Is that exciting? Less stress? Wow. Yes, you got a job. Okay, well, I'm excited for you. Congratulations on the new job. Excited for you. Very excited for you. Hopefully it'll be fulfilling and less stressful. So I only film in residential lots. I won't, very rarely, if ever, will I film on a public lot, because it just creates so many issues. I would rather bring 50 Sims in to the household and pose them all than film on a non-residential lot, because it's just so maddening to not have control over those little people on that lot. And so that's what this is. I had this as a different kind of lot, so I need to fix it, make it residential, and then I'll move someone in so I can show you what I did. Anyway, so I only ever film on residential lots, because then you can control the little people, because the little people in The Sims all have a mind of their own. We all know that. All know that. Okay. So are you taking a break at all, Penny, from your job? Like in between jobs? Okay, we want this to be a residential lot. No, you're just going to go straight into it. Well, that's good. I congratulations. I really hope it's something fulfilling for you. I applied for something within my company, so we'll see. Let's see what happens. Hello. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I have like the fastest computer on the planet, and yet it still wants to give me grief. Okay, so I'm going to go in here. Let me move somebody into this lot so I can show you then how I go back and forth and moved all of the assets here. It's a little laggy. I don't know why it's laggy. That's okay. It likes to be laggy. All right, let's grab Blake. We all love Blake. Let's grab our little Blakey Poo here. Hi, little Blakey Poo. We're gonna oh, sorry, excuse me. We're gonna borrow you, little Blake and Sam. Oh no, I know I don't have to do that, but I do. All right, let's move our little Blakey in over there. Come on, Blakey. Let's go move. We're gonna move here. All right. Perfect. All right, now let's go into the lot. All right, so your last day of work is May 20th. Your new job starts May 23rd, and you work from home. Awesome. Are you going to get to use your degree? Like your creative degree? That's really cool. How exciting. Congratulations. All right, Blakey Poo. You're in. So little Blake is here, hidden in the rock somewhere, which is fine. We'll rescue him in a minute. But, and it's nighttime, which is fine too. Okay, so I put these big old honking rocks on here, right? Because I want to cover up this park. It was kind of funny because I kind of lost Nathan a few times doing this. So I did shift click, clicked on the tool, clicked tool. I'm toggling the active object, and I'm just gonna, who's in there? Who are you? Who is that? Oh, that's my glowed up Vlad. Oh no, who is that? Oh, that's Caleb. Huh, okay. I'm just going to plug this in over there. Boom. There you go. I just transformed that. And then I'm going to take this tool, toggle active object, and I'm going to put this one over here, and I'm going to cover that up, make this big old honkin' boulder here. And then I'm going to take this. I made these a little bit too big. Toggle active object, go here. So let me go tool and let's scale it down a little bit. Let's go negative 0.05. I haven't used this feature very much. Scale negative 0.5. I'll make it a little bit smaller. That's fine. Let's say I wanted to move it back. I'm going to shift click on it, do tool, and I'm going to toggle it, and then I'm going to click back here. And I need to remember to show my mouse. I'm going to hold down the Alt key and I'm going to click and I'm going to move this boulder over so we can cover up that part of the park. So basically that is what I did. And then I kept looking here. Who is that with the blue hair? River Wanson with some blue hair. Okay, River, I see you. So I kept adding boulders. Shift, tool, toggle active object, and I'm going to move this one over here because I want to cover that up there. And oh, it's too far over. Shift, tool, toggle active object, hold down Alt, and move here. There we go. And so you can see it starting to transform, and then I can move this around. I can add another boulder here, and it's starting to transform into what I want it to be. And so what I did is I continued to do that until I had all of the boulders the way I wanted them and the size and everything and the shape. And I reshaped this whole landscape into an entire set. And I even will put some behind too. And what I'll do is I'll look at where in the camera angle do I want? Like what is I want to see? And so I'm in tab mode. Who's this dude? Oh, is that Blake? Hi, Blakey. I'm sorry. Looks like you have needs that aren't being met. Shocker. And I'll just see how do I want my scene to be. So with that scene, I had it kind of fly in a little bit from the left and kind of go in so that it was really focusing on this here. And I think this is an older version of this. I put some bigger boulders and stuff in there in the actual one that I used. But that is how I created that scene. So you can use tool. Let's say I wanted to get rid of it. Like this is just too big. I'm just going to shift click on it and I'm going to destroy the object and it's going to go away. And then you just make it go away and start over. You can also move it. You can do all kind of things. And you can do that with any object in the game. So even if, let's say I wanted to turn this into a neighborhood, I could grab some houses from the debug menu and I could move them over here. And essentially what happened is by the time I was done creating that set, this whole area here looked different. So when you looked at it from the view where Nathan was on this area behind us that I'll show you in a second, it looked different. It looked like we were in a different world. And it was by changing the landscape for all of these lots here. This one I kept there. I didn't need to change it because you couldn't really see it because I just angled the camera where he was when you get up to the mountain where he was, this whole thing here was changed, and so all you could see was that, and it just looked different because I had boulders back here that hid all of this, and I basically just used the objects to hide everything that would look familiar. Here, so all right, that is how I transformed this area. I wish I still had the set. I don't have that save, I don't think, anywhere to show you, which I'm kicking myself for. Let's fix Blakey up here. All right, buddy. Who misses Blake? I miss Blake. There's little Blakey. I miss little Blakey. Hi, Blakey. We miss you. I'm sorry you had to die. Anyways. All right, what questions do you have so far? I wish it wasn't 3:49 a.m. So I'm going to go ahead and make it a different time of day. There we go. Let's get some sunlight. Filming. Oh, okay. Let me show you. That's another thing I did. So another thing I did, because the kids kept going to school and it was annoying me, and people kept going to work, and I thought, why? I kept having people quit their jobs and miss school and all of that. But what I did instead is I went onto the calendar and look at all the holidays. I made holidays on all of the days that people had work, and now there's no school. It's like a Christmas miracle. There's no school, there's no work, so they don't get up and go to work when I'm trying to film. So that's a little hack that I did as well. Well, let me go ahead and show you this area over here. Well, before I do that, any questions? All right, this is the coolest part that I discovered here. I'm sure I'm not the only one that's discovered how to do it, but I discovered it and it was cool for me. So you see this area here, this bridge. If you could see my mouse, which you can't, and I'm gonna figure out how to do that. This is one of those areas that's off limits. So there's a little circle with a line to it. You can't click on it. So if I wanted to move Blake, where's Blakey? Little Blakey, let's just tool Blakey, and I'm going to tool him, toggle the active object, and I'm going to just put him as far over as I can, and that's as far as he can go is there. Because all of this behind him is off limits. But when I filmed the scene, I wanted it to look like Nathan was on a journey, like he was hiking through the forest to get to the sacred grounds. And there's only so much forest that you could, I guess I could have gone into wherever that camping world is. I always forget it. I could have gone into there and that would have been fine. But imagine all of this has been changed. The landscape was changed with, adding boulders and stuff. But I wanted it to look different. Like, it needed to look different from anything else. And so if you go here, I'm going to go into tab mode and I'm going to show you. There's just a whole other world back here. There's a bridge, which I thought, oh, this would be really cool. You could walk across a bridge. Well, I can't access the bridge. I mean, I guess I could probably find it in debug, and I could build that. I could build a bridge and get over it. I'm funny. But I thought, gosh, this is exactly what I wanted. I wanted it to look like he was going on this trail into the mountains where he was going to, go to the sacred grounds. But you can't access this. You can't get there. Like, I can't put Blake there. It's not going to let me. So it's going to keep bouncing here. So what you have to do is, with the tool mod, you can actually get them there. Let's turn off your plumb bob there, buddy. So if I wanted him to go over this bridge, what I needed to do first, I'm going to shift click on here. Let's rotate you a little bit. First I'm going to rotate him because he's not facing the right direction. Nope, wrong way. All right, there he is. So we're going to get Blake to walk over this bridge. So what I did first is I found a walking animation in my animations that I wanted to use. So that's what I did. I just went here and I found, I don't remember which one I used. I have them kind of organized. I want to organize more, but Still have a lot to do. Thank you to Peachy for teaching me how to do this. I think I have... walking animation. Yeah, I think this is the one I used. I don't think I used a sad walk, but we'll use this one. We'll do a sad walk. Why not? We'll just use that for shits and gigs. Okay, so I got the animation, and if I do that, he's not moving forward, so that's not a good one. Yeah, it does take us so long. That's not the one I wanted. Hold on, let me find, might be Sophia might have made one. Sitting, taking a selfie. This is why I need to organize them, because there's so many. Did Mel make one? How about Raz? Walking with a box? Walking with a flashlight. You walk with a flashlight. There you go. Good enough. Good enough. I don't remember which one I used for Nathan, honestly. He's moonwalking. Okay. Gonna try and find a little bit longer one here. Oh my gosh, it is so hot in my room right now. Sweating. Oh, actually I think I used this one. Yeah, I think that's one I used. I don't know who that's by. I didn't look. Did you all see? I'll have to put that in the comments. Yeah, good enough. All right. So this is what I did. Now, I found the animation I want, but I want him to walk over the bridge. So I'm going to, first of all, get him pointed in the right direction so he doesn't walk into the pole. Or where is he going? He's probably going to like walk right off the bridge. There he goes. Blake, don't do it. Bye. So let's turn him around. So I shift-clicked, tool. We're going to rotate him. Now, the thing with tool is you got to know your rotation. I don't know my rotation. So I just play with it until it looks right. There we go. Perfect. Let's just see how this does. He's still walking at an angle a little bit, so let's unrotate him a little bit. Tool. Rotate him. Let's go a -15. Boom. There we go. All right. So now he's going to walk, but look, he's yeeting into the thing. So now I have to decide, first of all, I have to get him over here. Now, I can't use the usual method, which would be to shift-click on Blake, tool, toggle active object, and move him. I can't do that because it has to be a place where they can walk. Like, you have to be able to click on a place that they can access. But I can't do that because he can't access the bridge. So I moved him here. He's as far up as he can go. But what I can do is I can move him using the grid. Now, this is where it gets a little bit complicated. This is where I am not an expert, but if you can figure it out, it is a game changer. And it is very tedious. So those are my disclaimers. I make no promises that this is easy to do. Because what we have to do in order to get him walking across the bridge in our scene, you have to, because the object is elevated, there's going to be different elevations. You're going to have to move him to different places and then take your shot. And I'm going to show you how I did that. So I found the animation I wanted to use. So let's say I wanted to take a picture of Blake walking over this. I'd be like, well, look at that. That's all fine and great, but now he's yeeted into the bridge. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to elevate little Blake. I'm going to shift-click on him. I'm going to toggle him. No, I'm going to elevate him, and let's go point. I always start with 0.05. Now, let's say I went more choices, tool, toggle active objects. Nope, that's not what I want to do. Sorry. For choices, tool, elevate. And let's say I forgot the decimal and just went 5. I'm like, oh no, where'd Blake go? He's up in the air. Well, that's not going to work. I could untool him down, or I can shift click on the ground. I can go to tool options and I can undo it, and he's going to go right back to where he was. So that's another trick that if you didn't know it, you can undo anything you did by just shift clicking, going to tool options. It's kind of off the screen, huh? And then you can change the settings. You can, I don't use grouping, so don't ask me how to do that. I don't know. And then you can undo. Now I do want to show you something before we move him anywhere. First, we're going to go here, tool, let's elevate him, and I will do 0.05 until I get him where I want him to be. You can do anything you want. You'll find your sweet spot, but this for me just kind of feels like it's just enough to kind of move him in increments. Otherwise, they just move too much too fast. Now, I was actually on a call with Peachy and Izzy when I did this. And we were on the phone for, I don't know, what, like 2.5 hours. And I filmed just this one scene, not even the whole thing. That's how long it took. 025. Let's see until I can get him where his little feet are not yeeted into the thing. It's probably more tedious than it needs to be, but that's just kind of how my brain works. So, all right, he's still yeeting into the thing, but he's good enough. Oh, he's a little bit high off the ground. So let's bring him down. So what I'm going to do is I need to figure out now where'd the bridge go? I lost it. Hold on. Gotta love the disappearing objects. Hello? There we go. So I want to figure out where is my first shot going to be. So let's say it's going to be there with him just walking onto the bridge. So I need to find out. First, I'm going to set my camera position. Let's say I'm like, oh, that's the perfect camera position right there. I'm going to do Control 5, and there's my camera position. Thank you, Carl. I appreciate your support because you make all the hard work worth it. So I'll tell you that. I just turned my mic down a little bit because it looked like it was a little hot there. All right, so I have a little Blakey here. He's a little bit high in the sky, as my daughter used to say when she was little. Things were tall, they were high in the sky. So I'm gonna, let's bring him down. So I did shift click, elevate. Let's do negative 0.05 and see where he ends up. I should, where's my object? And that's the thing, like the objects are gonna disappear on you. It's very tedious. Now imagine the landscape behind him is completely different. If you haven't seen that particular episode, take a watch and look at it because you'll see the finished product of what this created. So what I would do is I would set my camera, shift 5 is going to put my camera position to make it look like he's walking on the ground and he's walking up, and I would just film that dude walking in the background. That's maddening. It's fine. But see, I would only use, when I'm editing, I would only use, okay, so this is what happens. Here comes blue hair dude, ruining my shot. Listen, buddy, it's not about you. This is not about you. Nobody asked you. Nobody invited you. This scene is not about you, sir. But welcome to making Machinima, where the townies ruin your shot nonstop. So I'm sitting here filming, waiting for the townie to disappear, and there he goes. Okay, he's gone. So I would film that. I would do that. All right, well, we got the first part of it. Now I want him to go up the bridge a little bit more. So I'm going to move Blake. I need to move Blake a little bit higher on the bridge, but I can't because it's not accessible. I can't just click on it and get him to go there. So what I have to do is I have to move him. Now, what I want to show you to do first before, well, let me show you something in the settings because this is really important. So if I go here, I want to go into, I shift clicked on the ground. I'm going to go to tool options and I want to change the settings. So you have some settings here that are really important to know. So the snap to terrain. The terrain is the flat ground that the Sims can walk on. I always cuss out Sims. I'm constantly cussing out Sims in my game, constantly, for different reasons. The terrain is the flat ground where the sim is gonna land. And what I mean by that is it's literally like the terrain. And what sits on top of the terrain are the objects. So if you have a mountain or a rock, or in my case, a volcano, that's an object. It's an actual object in the game. And so when I was doing this, I couldn't for the life of me figure out, where is Conrad going? Like I would do my coordinates and then he'd disappear. Like, where the heck is Conrad? But then I realized, or I actually went and watched the actual tutorial, that it's because he was snapping to the terrain. And so I could have him up here, and then I could move him a coordinate over, but this is telling him to snap to the terrain. So he was going to the actual ground that the object was resting on. So if I don't uncheck this, Blake's going to snap to the terrain. So I'm going to leave it on just for fun. I mean, you can always undo it. And I'm going to try to move him to the center of this bridge, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift click on him, and I'm going to go to Tool, and I'm going to move him. Okay? And here's your grid. Now, please do not judge my lack of ability to understand X and Y coordinates, because I don't. So this is complete trial and error. If you know a better way, please hit me up. But this is how I figured it out. You have your X axis and your Y axis. Here in the toolbar, it's X and Y. So the first number you put in is where they're going to move on the X-axis. The second number you put in is the number they're going to move on the Y-axis. You can go anywhere between -25 and 25, because you could see that's, you know, there's all kinds of little boxes here. You can also see that it's only going to go so far before the grid stops. So you can only go that far. Now, if I were smart enough, I'm going to try and figure this out. I'm going to guess that that way is positive and that way is negative. But I get it wrong every time, so I write it down because that's just what I have to do. So what I do is I went in and I want to move him. I think it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's move him -6 on the X-axis. And I don't want him to move over at all, left or right. So I'm going to put a 0 there. And let's see where he goes. Oop. See, I got it totally wrong because that was left to right. So that tells me, see what I mean? Y'all can just go away now if you are like, this girl does not know what's happening. But that's how I figured it out. No, please don't go away, because then I'm just talking to myself. So I'm gonna make myself a note that this way is -X, this way is X. I'm gonna assume that then that way is Y, and that way is -Y. I don't know. I could be wrong. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna undo it. This is why Machinima take me so long. Nope. And you see also snap to the terrain. So I'm going to show you that too. All right, let's undo. Let's put him back where he was. Let's try it again. Let's move him. Okay, what did I say? So that's -X. That's +X. Which doesn't make sense to me. Because I don't understand. I don't understand the grid. I don't even know how I use it. Because it makes me feel better, I guess. All right, so if my theory is right, if we move him 0, oops, nope, Blakey, stop. If we move him 0 and -6, he should move forward. Go. Oh, he did. See, that was it. That was what I need to do. But see, now he's yeeted through because he snapped to terrain. So let's undo this because we don't want him to snap to the terrain. If you uncheck snap to terrain, they're not going to move. Let me show you something when that's on as well. If you're used to using tool and moving them with tool, if you didn't know this trick, I'm going to show you. You may already know this. But when you use tool and you move them, I could never figure out why, like if I elevated him. Let's say I'm gonna elevate him 0.1. Really? I'm gonna elevate him 0.1. Okay, he's gonna go up. Actually, let's elevate him higher. Let's elevate him 0.5. Okay, I'm gonna elevate him up. He's up there. Now let's say I'm like, oh, I need to move him back. Tool, toggle active object. If I hold on the ground and hit Alt, I'm going to move him, but now he's snapping to the terrain. I could never figure out because like I'd get him in this perfect elevation for something and then have to move him a little bit and then they would, you know, go back down to the elevation. I was like, why is that doing that? Well, I figured out it's because the snap to terrain was done. Did you all knew that? And I just was slow. I'm going to say the answer is yes. But you see how I'm just clicking and he's going lower. If I go here and I go to tool and I change the settings and he's not snapped to terrain anymore, I can move him anywhere and he's going to stay at that same elevation. Like he's not gonna move. He's going to stay at this elevation no matter where I put him. Okay? So let's go ahead and move him forward now. Oh, wait. Okay, no, that's right. Move. And what do we say? We want that at 0, and this is going to be, let's do negative 15, because we kind of want him to go far. So he's going to go, boom, where'd he go? There he is. He's still in the thing because of that. We'll still need to do that. But now I just moved him to an inaccessible place in the game. Now I can use this bridge. This is where it gets really tedious because what I can't do is I can't move my mouse to get to him. I have a lot of patience. I don't know why I have so much patience when it comes to this because I don't have patience anyways. Like I can't move my mouse to get close to him. So I have to put it in tab mode and I have to use tab mode because I can, you know, get to him this way, but I can't use my mouse to get to him. Now, obviously we don't want this poor man yeeted into this thing here. So we're gonna elevate him. Let's get him out of the bridge. I'm gonna elevate him here. This is what I was doing, Peachy, when we were on the phone that day. And I was cussing at Nathan the whole time. Like, well, where'd he go? I think, oh wait, I sent you guys some screenshots too, didn't I? I'm going to elevate him. I think he probably could go a full 1. So let's elevate him up because there he is. Yeah, he's pretty low in there. More choices, tool, elevate you. Let's go up a little bit more and let's do one more choices, tool, elevate. We're going to do 0.25 and that's about good, right? And so now I got to go into tab mode. And I have to go check him out. He's still a little bit high off the ground. But what I'm going to do, this is where you get motion sick watching me film. Because, yes. So after watching this, I hope you'll all go back and maybe watch the episode if you haven't seen the episode. But, like, I can't use my mouse now. I have to use my arrows and my sensitivity is way off right now, so it's kind of wild what it's doing to me. But we're gonna pretend like that's good. Let's get the blur. That's the other thing that I need to fix in here. But let's pretend I have him, so I'm gonna set my camera position here. Hello? Okay. I'm gonna set my camera position here and I'm going to say, okay, everything's cool. I'm going to turn on my reshade. We're ready to film. and action, and I'm going to go ahead and hit the 1 key, and I'm going to film, and here's Blake. I'm going to get this next piece of him walking over the bridge, and of course there's another townie behind him with their stupid orange shoes. Ruining my shot. Yeah, exactly. Okay, that person literally just walked by to get in my shot. Now, I had the whole landscape different, so I didn't have that house behind him or anything. You couldn't really see it. But so I would film that, and then I would pause the game. I always pause always, 100% of the time, pause the game in between shots, because even though I have my game time slowed down, I do still play the game, so I don't want it slowed down too much. But I have the game way slowed down. The light changes so much so quickly in this game, and if I have the perfect lighting, I don't want to lose that. So I pause in between every shot, so that I don't lose the game time. And then I'm going to go back here, and now we're going to need to move him a little bit more over the bridge so that we can get our next shot. Now again, I can't see when I'm trying to move my mouse forward. It's not letting me because, again, this is inaccessible in the game. So I'm going to do the same thing over again. Tool, move. And now you can see the, actually, let's go ahead and I'm going to show you another trick. Did you see how the tool menu was in my way? I don't want it in my way. So I'm going to go here, tool options. Let me remember how to do it. Change settings, set dialog position, and I want to send it over to my left. So it's going to be over here. Perfect. That's out of my way for now. All right, now I want to move little Blakey, and so we're going to shift click on him, more choices, tool, and move. And let's move him ahead another, say, 5. No, we said it's a negative, right? 0. Oh, make sure your reshade's off. And then separate by comma. Negative, no, yes, yeah, -5. Okay, and then he's going to move forward a little bit more, and now we have to re-elevate him again. So because he's on a different elevation of that, so we're going to have to re-elevate him. Now what's happening, this is where it gets a little funky, because now he's going to get to the point where I can't really see him, and so it gets a little bit more tedious. So I'm going to click on him, tool, elevate. I'm going to bring him down -0.5 because I need him lower, and I don't know actually what that looks like. So let me move forward a little bit. Oh, a little bit too far, so now I got to go back. Don't worry, the game's going to kick me out anyways. And let's bring him up. More choices, tool, elevate. We're going to do 0.25, bring him up a little bit. That's too much, so now I'm going to bring him down. Choices, tool, elevate, -0.05. Whoa, that's a lot of numbers in there. -0.05. Bring him down. I think that's good. Let's see. All right, so now I got to go back into tab mode. I have to find Blakey. See what that looks like. I'm going to flip us around a little bit, and I can only do this in tab mode. Now, you could always do an aerial shot. That'd be kind of cool. You could do that. Like if, let's say we wanted an aerial shot here to get some of the river in there, that would be kind of cool. So let's say we wanted to do that just for funsies. Just for funsies. That looks pretty good. So now this might be a little hard because the bridge is going to go down. And so I don't know if this is going to work or not, but we'll see. You just got to keep playing with it until you find the shot you want. It's kind of how that works. So little Blakey is going to walk across the bridge. Perfect. And I'm going to get that shot. I would have turned my reshade on, all of that, get that shot. The bats in the background. I would have put some sound effects in there. It would have been really epic. All right. So now I got that. And then, so I would just keep doing that until I get him all the way across the bridge. So let's say we've done that. We got all of our footage. He's across the bridge. We built a bridge. He got over it. All of that. A little more tedious. Yeah, it's a lot more tedious. Okay, but do you see what I mean? Like if you take the time there are just so many areas that you can take people to on here. So many different areas. There are so many areas in the game that are inaccessible by clicking, but accessible by tool if you have the patience to really stick with it and use it. And it can really open up your storytelling because, you know, as storytellers, location is everything, right? It brings, the sets are what bring the scene to life. The sets have to have that feel and that, I don't know, that energy in order for the story to really come to life. And so if there's, you know, there's a ton of places in Sulani that I'm going to be using as I film Poseidon. Like there's this whole marsh area that's going to be really cool that I'm going to use because the number of lots we get are really small too. And I was thinking about it the other day. I was thinking, gosh, I mean, you can transform any neighborhood into any neighborhood you want it to look like by using the tool mod, by putting objects there, by just completely transforming the landscape around so that when you have your shots, it doesn't even look like you're in the same game. It looks like you're in this whole like Hollywood movie set. So it's pretty cool. Anyways, I'm getting really excited now. All right, what questions do you have? What is happening out my window? Neighbor's dog is having an existential crisis out there. All right, let's do a stretch break. That's one thing I don't have on here that I have on Twitch is my stretch breaks. Any questions? Is this making sense? Are y'all watching this? Has anybody done this before in your game? I'm curious. Let me know. All right, well, we're going to move, while you're answering my question, we're going to move Blake. Now we want Blake to be over here walking on the path. So now he's going to get even further away from us because I want Blake all the way over here. In that scene, you saw Nathan, and Nathan was walking here. Absolutely not. Why not? Come on. Where's your sense of adventure, Peachy? So what I will do is I'll actually find where I want my shot first, right? Because that, I knew I wanted my shot. I had the lighting right. The lighting's different here. A lot of the lighting I put in that scene, I actually brought in effects from in my editing. But, you know, the lighting was pretty good. I also have my reshade too, which, hello, looks a little funky here, but I think this is the angle I had right here, and the light was shining through. It was just really a nice shot. I was really proud of that shot. But let's say, okay, I'm like, I want to shoot Blake right here. I want to show him going down this path here, so I'm going to set a camera position here. And as soon as I get out, it's going to yeet me out. I'm going to yeet. And then we're going to move Blakey forward, and we need him to go forward. So we're going to go more choices, tool, move. So we're going to move him. Now we wanted to move him kind of over and then to my left, or forward and to my left. So that's going to be negative X and Y. So we're going to negative Y. No, Y. Right? Did I get that? I've written down. It shouldn't be that hard. So let's say I want him over maybe about let's bring him over about 5, and forward about 10. And let's see where he ends up. Nope, I did that wrong. See? That's negative, and that's positive. Okay. So I did that wrong, so I'm going to go back to tool, and I'm going to undo it and put him back where he was. Choices, tool, move him. All right, so and let me show you what I did. I don't know if you can see this. See all my little, this is how technical I am here in the Mom Cave. I got me a Post-it with my coordinates on it. That's technical right here. I'd hear you screaming all the way from Georgia and California. I'd be getting a strongly worded letter from Peachy being like, why did you make me do this? Okay, so we want to move him forward 10, and to over to the side 5. So we're going to do -5 on the x-axis, and we're going to do -10 on the y-axis, and boom, it's going to shoot him all the way up too far. So let's move him a little bit more forward. Choices, tool, move. Let's move him. I'll move back over this way. So we'll move him 3 and forward another 10, -10. See where he ends up. Boom. Where'd you go? And the camera is doing that because I have it doing that. If you can change that in the settings. You go to Tool Options, change the settings, and you can snap the camera to the move. So if you want the camera to go wherever your sim went, in case you yeet them into Sixum somewhere, then you can have that. You can also turn it off. You can turn off the grid. You can set the rotation colors because, you know, when you rotate, you can do different rotations. You can go side to side. You can go forward. You can do all kinds of things. You can change where the dialogue is and all of that. So that's what you can do in settings. But now where's Blake? Let's find Blake. Blake is over here. I have to go back into here, and he's still not forward. So I need to yeet him way forward. So I'm going to yeet him like a solid 20. See where he ends up. So shift, more choices, tool, move. Is my husband doing yard work out there? I love that for me. Let's go -20. Let's see where he ends up. Oh, where'd he go? I'm going to shut my window. Hold on. All right. What's that? Okay. Let's find Blakey. All right. Oh, we're close. I found him. There he is. Now, this is why I set my camera position here, because I would have been trying to find Blake the whole time. Now, here's my dilemma. Blake is where I want him to be, but he's floating in the air. Obviously, we don't want him floating in the air. So now I have to, not only do I have to change him, but I have to find him from over here. This is where it gets a little dicey, is I have to find him and go all the way out here, and then I found him, so I'm going to shift click on him, more choices, tool, elevate. We're going to say -0.5. He wasn't that high off the ground. And I don't know. So I set the camera position. Let's see. Let me set another camera position that's closer. He's still really high off the ground, isn't he? All right, I'm going to set that new camera position. We need him to go, where'd he go? There's the palace. Where are you, Blakey? I lost Blake. Wait, hold on, I'll turn around now. Okay, there we go. Let's find Blake. Tool, elevate, -0.5. Shift 5, nope. Where are you? There you are. Okay. I mean, he's still really high off the ground. So I would just keep doing that until I get him where I want him to be. And that's the thing. I don't know that there's an easier way to do this. If anybody knows an easier way to do that, note in the comments, because that would be awesome. But I honestly don't think there is. Tool, elevate, -0.05. Let's do one more for good measure. Choices, tool, elevate, -0.05. All right, now we're going to do tab. We're going to go back to our camera position. He's still really high off the ground. All right, buddy, listen. You are on my last good nerve, because even if I do that, it just takes me over there. It's not going to take me in here because the game's like, you're not supposed to be over here. This is off limits territory, lady. Choices, tool, elevate, -0.1. We're just going to go for broke here. I still think he's too high. The choices, tool, elevate, -0.05. Sometimes I'll keep track of what I'm doing if I'm getting close, so I know how much to bring him back up. All right, 5, where are we at? There he is. He's kind of on the ground. So there we go. So I would then, I have my camera position. let's pretend he was on the ground. It looks, I mean, optically, I guess we could argue that that's what he's doing, but he's still really high off the ground. So I would have to bring him down to the terrain. I guess what I could do, what you could also do, is you could go and snap to terrain. I didn't even think about that. Look at me, learning things in my own tutorial. Let's try it. Let's snap him to the terrain, and that way he's automatically going to snap to the terrain. But where is he? I lost him. Where are you, Blakey? There you are, buddy. Walking over to the pearly gates, back to where you belong. More choices, tool. So we're just going to move him like 1 and 1. That's fine. And then that's just going to snap him to the terrain. Let's see what happened. Let's see if my theory worked there. There we go. Well, now he's yeeted in the terrain, but that's fine. There he goes. Now I would want to raise him up a little bit so his feet aren't in the ground. So there's that, because this terrain is elevated a little bit, but you get the gist of it. So let's pretend like I had him right where I want him. I'm now going to set my camera position. Like this is what I did. I wanted to show Nathan walking here, so I set a camera position there. You're cooking, so you'll be in and out. Hey, no problem. I hope what you're cooking. What are you cooking? Sounds good. I ate dinner right before stream, so this is probably the first stream in almost 2 years where my stomach's not going to growl because I actually ate. And then I would find my camera positions here. Oop, come back here. You know, listen, you can do that in the game where you get it to automatically like move. But if I ever try to do that on purpose, I can never recreate it. It just only does it when I don't want it to. Shocker. All right. So then I would set my camera positions, and there we go. That's my next shot. And then I would piece it all together, and you have this shot in this wonderful place where you don't have access to in the game. And you could go, I mean, you can go as far as the game will let you, right? And you can find out by going into tab mode. And I always just kind of go up just to see what are my boundaries. Like what is it? I wouldn't go that far. That's too far. But really, nothing is off limits. Nothing is off limits. If you are patient enough, you could actually put your sim anywhere you wanted them to be. Ooh, are you dizzy? Because I am. That, for example, that one, and I'll show this in the next one because we're coming up on time here in a little bit. But, you know, the scene where I had Nathan here, right? That scene on the mountain, I had Nathan up here. That was the tool mod. I had him sitting right up here on this rock when I shot it. I had him up here. The scene on the volcano, I had both. That's a little bit harder when you're working with two sims because you can't just snap the sims into each other. It has to be done with teleporters, and the teleporters have to be put in the right place. And so it's even more tedious when you get, you know, two sims in the same place. It gets a little bit dicey, but it's doable. You can do it. So that's how I did that. But I used the tool mod I did that scene by using the tool mod. As I had him sitting right up there when I shot the scene, and then the back side of the scene was here, where he was sitting up on top of the mountain and looking over the landscape that I didn't recreate, kind of waiting for, whoops, here. Anyways, all right. So there's that. Nothing is off limits with the tool mod. The only limitations you have are the ones that you put on yourself or that your patience will allow. So there's that. If you look over here, you see I added more boulders and all of that. Now this is an older version of that set because the newer version of it had bigger boulders around it and it was much more hidden, but here's the set here that I use. Okay, well, there's a method into my madness. Any question? Oh, baked chicken. Ooh, that sounds good. I had, what did I make tonight? Oh, I made meatloaf. Meatloaf and rice. That was really good. All right. Any questions? Is there anything you want to see? The floor is yours. queue up that. Hold on. Let me see. Actually, hold on. Let me see something here. I'm going to try something here. One moment. Screen capture. No. Browser source. Maybe I could do that. Oh, maybe. All right, let me add a source. And a new source. I'm going to try something here. Let's see if I can show you that scene. Here. I know that's in your way. I get it. Let's delete. All right, hold on one second. I'm going to try something really quickly here. I don't actually know if this is going to work. I've never tried this before, but let's see. I know, Penny, you do this. How do you stream other people's machinimas? Channel. Let's go here. Let's go. Which episode is it? Is it this one? 9? Shot? No, that's the volcano. Oops. I want to play that episode for you in case you haven't seen it, and also so I have it for the video so people could see the finished product of what I'm talking about. 1 second. It was episode 10? 1 second. So 10. I can't believe I'm already in, I'm filming, what, episode 12? Crazy. I'm not even close to the finale yet. Alright, let's see here. Yeah, it's this one. Okay. Only 1 second. Thank you for bearing with me. Browser source, add the source, add a new source. Chrome. Add it. URL. Let's see if this works. Can you guys hear that? Why didn't... Okay, hold on. I don't want to watch the whole thing. You can't hear it? Yeah, they do roll around so much. I don't know how to do it. Is Penny still on, or did she go out? She knows how to do it. I don't know how to do this. Huh. Can you hear it now? What the hey? There's a better way to do this because I've done it before. Hold on. I know how to do it. I know how to do it. Yeah. Oh, window capture. That's what I'm doing wrong. Huh. Fine. Okay, let's not let me do it. I'm being dumb. Anyways, y'all can watch it. It's on there. I'll have to put it in the video or something, but it's not coming up. But anyways, it's kind of the finished product. Anyways, we'll go ahead and start to wrap up. What questions do you have about using Tool in places that are off limits? And again, you can do anything you want here. There's just so many cool places in here. Like there's even over here, this is where I filmed Ambrosia getting taken. If you haven't seen it, it's a spoiler. Sorry. Over here, there's just so many different places that you can go. Now, over here, there's a lot of clickable places that you could go, but still, you don't have to limit yourself to just the lots. You can pretty much go anywhere you want. But that's how I filmed that scene. And if I'll have to figure out before the next stream how to stream the actual video. I know there's a way to do it, but I'm just not, my brain's not working enough to be able to sort that out yet. All right, who is going to try this the next time they film, Peachy? Come on, you try it just once. Staying in clickable spots. Okay, fair enough. Again, if you want to get rid of something, you can always shift click on it and get rid of it. So you can do that. I kind of wish I had saved that save or found that save, or maybe before when we do the next one of these, which will be in 2 weeks, we're going to recreate the scene where Nathan was on top of this mountain. And then also we're going to go over to the volcano, and we're going to look at that as well. Peachy will not be doing that. Come on, where's your sense of adventure? Your sense of adventure. And so the next thing that's coming up are Tutorial Tuesdays. Now, hopefully it's going to be Tutorial Tuesday and not a Tutorial Wednesday. I haven't actually edited the video yet, but we'll see how things go for me. And those are going to be short tutorial videos that are going to be basics. So they're basics for making machinima. These Machinimalife lives are more live filming, live tutorials, just watching it in action, being able to ask questions. But those are just going to be kind of shorter tutorial videos starting with Machinima 101. Like, what are the top 10 things everybody needs if you want to make a machinima? What are the 10 things you need to have? Because making a machinima is a lot of work. This is a lot of work. This takes hours and hours. For that small, like less than 3-minute scene is over 3 hours of footage. So, and that's how long it takes to make a machinima. I mean, you know, you can find shortcuts. Absolutely. You definitely can streamline things. There's a lot of hacks and tricks that people do to make it a little bit easier, but it still takes a lot of time. There's no easy way to make a machinima, really. It takes a lot of time and a lot of patience and a lot of planning on the part of the directors. So what I want to do, because I get questions all the time of people reaching out to me in the DMs and saying, how do I get started? What do I do? So I'm going to just start from the basics. The first will be Machinima 101. Again, top 10 things you need. The next is going to be the must-have mods. So just my go-to mods that every machinima creator really, really needs to have. Patience and a lot of cussing. That's right. You need to have a lot of sailor language in your vocabulary. The other thing, I'll do a tutorial on posing multiple sims. I think that we all know how to pose multiple sims, but getting them in the perfect animation and keeping them there. Another thing I'm going to do is how to avoid frustration. Now, am I going to give a tutorial on not be frustrated while filming? No, but I think there are like the top things that frustrate machinima directors, and I put it out on Twitter and was not really surprised at the things that came up. I think the top things that really frustrate us are pretty standard across the board. And so I'm going to be covering that again. So it'll be a series of tutorials coming out hopefully on Tuesdays when I can get them out on Tuesdays. Just covering basics for anybody who wants to learn how to make a machinima. These advanced tool tutorials will be to learn how to use Tool to make machinima. I mean, there's just so much that you can do with the Tool mod. Especially if you have the Tool mod in MC Command Center. Really, the possibilities are endless. Oh my gosh, look at this picture. Hold on. Can we just take a moment and appreciate the Vladdy statue with the bird about to poop on his head? That's funny. All right. It's the little things for me. Yeah, how not to get frustrated. Well, how to get less frustrated. Let's face it, because we're all going to get frustrated because these are Sims. And Sims like to do what Sims like to do. But, yeah, there's that. Anyways, if you have any other ideas, any questions, anything else you'd like to see me cover, let me know. I'd be happy to do that. If you're watching this afterwards, or if you're watching this now, you're not subscribed, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, put on the notification bell, and be sure to get caught up on the curse. It is in 3 seasons so far. It's the first season, which is being remastered into voice, the second season, which is Foxbury, the third season, which is now The Crown, and coming up soon will be the 4th season, which is Kings of Industry. So I'm really excited with the direction it's going. I want to thank you all so much for coming, for listening to me ramble on and muddle through this best that I could for this first Machinimalife Live revamp. I'll be excited to be back here in 2 weeks again, where we'll do more advanced tool, and I'll show you how I filmed that scene with Nathan up on the rock, and also how I filmed the volcano scene. So that was a whole thing. It was quite a win, and it was really hard, but I'd love to share that with you. So thank you all for coming. I really appreciate you, friends, for coming by. And then if you're watching this afterwards, thank you again for sticking around. Love you very much. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your evening and week, and be well. Y'all take care and have a good night.